This movie is a cautionary tale of why women should never lower their standards, and you'll see why. This is Brandy, a successful real estate agent. She is independent, intelligent, and drop-dead gorgeous. The woman has it all until she meets Darnell. What can I say about Darnell?
You's a fine motherfucker.
Well, he is confident. Darnell is a club manager who fancies himself a player, but even with his plate full, Darnell doesn't seem to be satisfied. One day, Darnell spots Brandy, who is clearly out of his league, and immediately shoots his shot by inviting her to come party at Chocolate City, and gets rejected, of course. Even his mama tried to warn him that one day his wicked ways will catch up to him, but Darnell doesn't care. So he invites all his ladies to his little club that night, and to his surprise and mine, Brandy shows up, and once again Darnell makes his move.
I don't know what you're selling, but I'm not buying.
But rejection seems to only be redirect for Darnell, because he makes a bet with his bros that he can hit that. But the night isn't over for Darnell, because Mia, Darnell's lifelong friend, returned to town. Now that Mia is back in town, Darnell seems smitten by Mia, but looks like Mia already got a man.
Motherfuckers.
Let me stop you right there, brother. I don't deliver chicken. My family owns Chicken Vixens.
If it was me, I would stick with Reggie, but to each her own. So anyway, since Mia is taken, Darnell returns his attention to Brandy by showing up at her office.
I'll tell Irvin you call him back.
And completely embarrassing her and himself in front of her colleagues. But he doesn't stop there. Pretending to be a buyer for a mansion he obviously can't afford, Darnell shows up at Brandy's showing and demands a house tour, and Brandy finally agrees to show him around. During the house tour, he surprises her with what I have to assume is a replica of the original piece of art that he broke from her office, hoping to win her over. And after reminding him of the kind of woman she is,
I have an MBA from Harvard. I run my own business. There's nothing that you can buy for me that I can't buy for myself, so don't waste my time.
Darnell switches tactics and decides to be honest. But unfortunately, in a moment of weakness, this works on our baddie. So Brandy and Darnell begin to date. Stretching his budget, he wines and dines her and makes her laugh. After a couple of cheap dates, Darnell feels entitled to some gnocchi. But Brandy makes it clear that she is not ready to move that fast.
People always disappoint you. Especially men. No, I don't trust you, please.
But one beautiful woman doesn't seem to be enough for a small man like Darnell, because he also has his eyes on Mia, who is still being wined and dined by a man who can't afford it. Mia, who seems to have some sense, is also not interested in joining Darnell's long list of women.
I know you like lots of women, so I trust you because I don't expect you to do anything different but be Darnell.
But back to Brandy. It appears Darnell ghosted her after she wouldn't hook up with him, so she shows up that night to Chocolate City uninvited.
Oh, it's gonna pay off. When?
At the same time, Mia shows up with her man, and Darnell uses this opportunity to make Brandy jealous. Now attempting to win him back, Brandy invites him over her mansion to spend the night. But first, she warns him that she had a very troubling past and tells him how she handled her abusive ex. But that doesn't faze Darnell, who promises her that,
Do you love me?
I love you.
So Brandy finally lets her guard down and they make love. But as soon as it's over, Darnell runs to his bros to brag that he won the bet. Anyways, now that he has hit that, Darnell's thoughts returns to Mia. The next day, while at work, Brandy pulls up on Darnell with a little surprise, taking him on a luxurious shopping spree, like he is Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. She even offers to buy him a club.
New York, Los Angeles, doesn't matter, I can afford it.
After that, Darnell stops by his mama's house to show off his newfound wealth, and that is when she tells him that Mia is returning to the Air Force. This information causes him to run to Mia's house and declare his feelings for her by throwing out expensive items purchased by Brandy's hard-earned money. And meanwhile, Brandy, who cooked a candlelight dinner for two, is left waiting for Darnell to arrive, but Darnell is too busy trying to crack open a new cookie jar. After that, Darnell shows up to Brandy's mansion to call it quits.
I was starting to get very bored.
Anyways, claiming to be a changed man after just one day, Darnell then proceeds to break up with all the women in his little black book. But Brandy isn't ready to let Darnell go just yet, so she decides to surprise him with some breakfast.
What the fuck wrong with you?
You put your hands on the wrong woman.
But his response does not discourage Brandy, for she is a woman who gets what she wants, no matter how small what she wants may be. The next day, while running errands around town, Darnell almost has a little accident and proceeds to blame Brandy when it could have been anyone in that car.
I'm caught up in a real life fatal attraction up in this motherfucker, man.
Later that day, he also gets a call at work that Mia is in the hospital. In a panic, he runs over to the hospital, but to his surprise, Brandy lies waiting on the hospital bed, luring him into a little trap. But the charges didn't stick, so she decides to leave him a little message, letting him know who he can and cannot fuck with.
Little mama's boy. And you better believe it, I will bust your head wide open.
But all that drama doesn't stop our player from getting his mac on, and Brandy doesn't appreciate this disrespect.
Get rid of the bitch, I will.
Brandy's words finally scare the ego out of Darnell, causing him to call it quits with Mia. But after the breakup of his 1 week relationship, Darnell then mopes around until T, Darnell's friend, pays Mia a visit, where Mia finds out why Darnell called it quits. Meanwhile, at Chocolate City, someone, we don't know who, decides to set their club on fire. Thinking he is big and bad, Darnell goes to confront Brandy at her house, but Brandy was ready for that ass. But after waking up all tied up, Darnell still decides to run his mouth. But Brandy reminds him who is in charge.
I'm gonna shoot you for all women.
Now ready to finish him off, Brandy forces Darnell into the bathtub, and Darnell finally apologizes with a little persuasion. At the same time, Darnell's friends arrive at Brandy's house to rescue his little bitch ass. And after knocking out T, Brandy easily corners Mia. But unfortunately for our baddie, Darnell and Mia gang up on her and send her flying. In the end, Darnell survives, and so did Mia. And like the princess and the frog, they lived happily ever after. As for our baddie, she may be locked up behind bars, but she is still serving the most lethal face card you have ever seen. A Thin Line Between Love and Hate is a 1996 comedy starring Lynn Whitfield and Martin Lawrence. Although the movie is about Darnell, I prefer to watch it through Brandy's point of view because it is a cautionary tale on why women should never lower their standards. When you do, you don't just risk heartbreak, you risk losing everything. Brandy went from being a powerful, put-together woman to someone consumed by rage and revenge. The moment she settled for a man who was never worthy of her time was the moment she learned that there is a thin line between love and hate, and desperation will blur that line every single time. Lynn Whitfield improvised several of Brandy's most unhinged moments during the revenge scenes, and Martin Lawrence actually busted a blood vessel in his eye while filming. The movie was considered a flop in its time, but to me, it is a cult classic. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Abby, and this is Vixen Cinema, where I feature movies with complex female characters. New episodes drop every Friday, so please hit like and follow for more. Bye.